Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. Lots of great racing action at Keeneland on Saturday. The main event is, of course, the Grade 2 Bluegrass. We've got two other Grade 1 races on the card, including the Madison at 7 furlongs for fillies and mares. Let's throw up the field. $300,000 is the purse. We've got a couple of horses coming out for Chad Brown. They're going to race for Chad for the first time. This is a strong group.
Really is. It's an interesting race. I was a little bit dubious coming into it over these past few weeks, saying, who's possibly going to run in the Madison? They threw it together. Pretty good race.
Number one is Paid Up Subscriber, one of the two new faces for Chad Brown. This one, a graded stakes winner for Al Stahl last year, sold for $1.1 million at Fasig tipped in November last year. This is going to be her first start since the Spinster, where she was no match for Ima Chatterbox, but she's run well at Keeneland in the past, and maybe the turnback is what she wants.
I think she's sneaky in here. I know she's down on the rail, and I know there's some other speed in here. She won't be able to be up there on the front, but I was always a little bit dubious about how far she actually wanted to go, and she proved me wrong. She could see out some distances. I think her best distance or her best game is one turn. You get her back to 7/8 of a mile, long layoff for Chad. I think she's sneaky in here. I picked her third.
Formulator fact for Chad shows that long layoff, no problems. Past 4 years, older dirt runners, first time Chad, giant layoff, no problem.
Maybe she's not that sneaky.
A $4.83 return on investment. Paid Up Subscriber. Maybe they'll run away from her a little bit in the early portion of this race, but I would have a feeling that Chad's going to have her cranked first time for these new owners. The two is Clothes Fall Off, who ran in last year's Madison and didn't run very well, although that race preceded a long layoff, so I'm assuming that something physically amiss happened to Clothes Fall Off. She got back on the beam last time out in the correction, but it was over a wet track that she loves against a weaker field.
Yeah, I want no part of this filly, and there's no disrespect. I think she's nice. I think she's done some good things. Wet track, and at 6 furlongs, I think she is much better going 3/4 than longer. And we're back at Keeneland, and we have to bring up the Kieran McLaughlin number. Graded stakes at Keeneland, he's 0 for 24, only 5 of them have hit the board over the past 5 years. I just want no part of her.
Kath Ballou is a really likable 5-year-old mare. She's a little bit slow to win a race like the Madison, but Kenny McPeak, who's been winning lots of races recently, has gotten Kath Ballou to win her last 3 starts on dirt, and she is a course and distance winner at Keeneland. It's just hard to imagine against these tough Grade 1 types that she can take the necessary step forward off an 85 winning Beyer last time.
I think the Connections would be very pleased if she hit the board somehow. I do think she could be a sort of pace muddling factor because I think they have no choice but to go on with her.
The 5 is High Ridge Road, and you and I have always been big fans of High Ridge Road. Of course, we needed her in the Go for Wand, where she got beat a nose at 9-2. Since then, she's done nothing wrong for the fantastic trainer Linda Rice. She beat By the Moon both times at Laurel, including the Grade 2 Fritchie, and it was only a half length and a neck, but I thought she was better than By the Moon both times by a significantly larger margin.
I agree with that, but I have to say, I thought the Fritchie was the ugliest race I've ever seen because she was all out for a half mile. I would kind of expect her to run up the track, and she still somehow won. And by the way, she has the highest last out Beyer in the field with a 94. I respect everything Linda sends out. I want no part of this horse. If she runs that race, I don't think she wins.
You could also argue that she was on the best part of the track in the Fritchie
100%.
Towards the outside that day. By the Moon is rock solid, however, and High Ridge Road with only 11 starts to her name, it's possible that this Keeneland graduate's getting good. She beat a couple of next out winners in the Fritchie. Let's move on to the number 7 Wheatfield, who easily outran her odds last time out. In the Grade 2 Inside Information, she was 20-1. She ran second. She was stopped a little bit inside down on the turn and ran on well, but this is a much tougher group.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky in the Inside Information, but my goodness, you want to talk about leaps and bounds more difficult company that should be facing here.
Ponder Lee, third in the Grade 3 Las Flores last time out, ships east for trainer Richard Baltus. It's the third start of the form cycle. Nice tactical speed. You're getting Florence Giroux on a price, but she's got to improve.
I think the only way she can win is if she clears to the front, and I don't think she's fast enough.
Minds and Magic, I've always liked a little bit, but ever since you step her up into these graded stakes races, it's a little bit too tough. She won at this distance. The Dogwood 2 starts back. The Minaret, her first start off the layoff, well, she ran to a streaking hot horse in Spanish Concert, who's now won 3 in a row and 4 of her last 5. That being said, Spanish Concert will be the longest shot on the board in this race.
By far. I think Minds and Magic is a nice filly. I just think she's in a little tough.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 1 Madison Stakes. Actually, let's throw up the Timeform US Pace Projector for the Grade 1 Madison Stakes. It's not expected to be a very fast pace. We've got the 6, Paula Silver Lining, who we're going to talk about right now, on the lead. This is the other first-time Chad runner. She's remarkably consistent. She has figs. She has class. Got to deal with a little layoff.
Got to deal with a layoff, but the good thing is, in the past, she has shown that she can fire big off the long layoff. I just look at her and say, I think she ran a great race in every one of her races last year. If she comes back marginally close to what she was last year, she has a giant, giant chance. I think she's the most likely winner in the race. I just wonder how much money is she going to take in here. I believe she's 3 on the line. I made her 5-2. I wouldn't take a penny less than that.
And I wouldn't be surprised if she goes off at 2-1. Everyone sees the string of 90-plus buyers that began with that 107 buyer to kick off her 2016 campaign. She does run well fresh. She is now with Chad, and she could be on the lead in a race, as our Timeform U.S. friends believe, favors horses on or near the early lead. Now, let's take a look at our picks, because the horse that's third in the Timeform U.S. pace prediction could be sitting in the Catbird spot off of a moderate pace is the 4 Constellation for Jerry Hollendorf.
Now, I'm hopeful the pace predictor's wrong, because I want Kath Ballou to go, because I think that's the only way that she can win. Paula Silverlining has shown recently that she likes to sit off of a target. I want Constellation to be glued to Kath Ballou. You know you can take over the lead at any point. Then you got to hold off Paula Silverlining. At that point, I'll take a shot knowing that she's coming off the layoff for Chad again. It's a positive move no matter what. But Constellation, this is the move. This is the Jerry Hollendorf move, second off the bench, graded stakes, sprints. The numbers are off the charts. Past 5 years, 10 for 23 with a 441 ROI, with fillies and mares 7 for 13, 10 in the board with a 556 ROI. I have to be honest, I didn't like the Las Flores when I first watched it live. Going back, I think 7/8 of a mile is what she wants. 3/4 was too short. I think her speed at 7/8 is dangerous. I loved her La Brea against Lesser. I think there are a lot of things going for this filly.
And her La Brea was the second off the layoff for Hollendorfer. She relished that 7 furlong distance that day, and I agree with you. My excuses for the Las Flores are the 6 is a little bit short, and that race was just run in a driving rainstorm that I think Constellation might have been freaked out a little bit in only her 9th lifetime start. She now gets the second off the layoff move with good tactical speed. She's 4-1 on the line, and I'm certainly using her as well. 4, 6, 1, 5 for Matt. I'll go with the 6, Paula Silverlining. I just think she's the classiest and best horse. We'll see if the 7 is what she wants, or actually if she wants a little bit shorter, especially off the layoff, but she should be a major factor yet again in the Madison. It has an approximate post time of 5:03 Eastern on Saturday at Keeneland. Good luck.